Hey guys, Marisa here, and I wanted to jump on and talk with you about content domination. Now, this is a process that was developed by Peng Jun, and he's sort of a digital marketing guru who I've been following for several years. And essentially, he came up with this process because one of the ways in which to be what they call omnipresent is to do this system called content domination. And it'll make more sense as we go through the process, but I wanted to jump on and talk to you about it. So the first thing you want to do is come up with something, a word or phrase that you want to be known for. So for me, let's say I want to be known as the expert for women dealing with oily skin, right? Because there's nothing worse than being our age and breaking out like a teenager, right? And so I want to be known as that oily skin guru or that oily skin thought leader, right? Next, you're going to go to a platform called Answer the Public. And Answer the Public is a place, it's just a search engine. And what it does is it pulls all the current questions that real people are actually asking Google right now today. So the cool thing about that is you get relevant questions that are timely and that people, real people in the world actually want to know the answer to. And so what you're going to do is you're going to start writing down some of what the Answer the Public search query pulls up. It actually pulls up this really cool wheel and it, all of the questions, who, what, why, when, how. And then it gives you little topics and specific phrases that are actually being asked, right? So, when might your oily skin break out more throughout the month, right? Something like that. Then you can also go to Google and do a search at the top, and it's going to pull up about a third of the way down the page. You're going to see a list of other questions people want the answers to. And if you start clicking on the little arrow beside those, a whole bunch of questions come up. So essentially what you're trying to do is, I want to be known as the oily skin expert. What does my audience want to know about oily skin at this stage in their life, right? So you begin to build a content bank. And so what I do is I take all that information and I put it into my spreadsheet. So I know the questions that people want to know the answers to, and then I can turn around and begin to build the content with regard to those questions. So the next step that can also work in tandem with your research is to do a lifestyle photo shoot. This does not have to be a professional photo shoot. You can use your own smartphone. You can, I do suggest you get a tripod with a ring light, or use natural light, so a north-facing window in your home that gives you this natural light, which is going to be very bright. So you get that really nice image, right? But basically the idea is you want some lifestyle pictures. So perhaps you're doing your makeup, or you're doing some skincare, or you're in your office working, or you're hanging out with the family, or you're doing something cool, right? Whatever it happens to be, you want to make sure that you are collecting the pictures that are going to speak to your audience. More pics are always better than less. How many times have you done a photo shoot and out of the 300 pictures that were taken, you get like 10 that are really good pictures? Well, keep that in mind when you're doing your own photo shoot. There's going to be a large percentage of those images that you're just going to delete, and it just is what it is. So doing this lifestyle photo shoot is going to help you to sort of see what your best side is. If you've never done this before, it's going to help you to figure out what pictures look the best, what product pictures look the best, and things like that, right? You'll want to do different jackets, different tops. Maybe you'll do different makeup looks, things like that. And then you also want to think about brand colors. So as much as you can bring in your brand colors into your photo shoot, even better, right? And then don't overthink it. This is just supposed to be a fun photo shoot. You want your images to come across as fun. You want people to look at them and go, oh yeah, I want to see what she's doing. I want to see what she's up to, right? And then you want to align with the topics. So for me, it might be a lot of skincare items, right? Because when you're dealing with oily skin, it's a constant thing. It could also involve diet. It can involve lifestyle. It can involve reducing stress. So self-care, things like that. So think about how you can also make that photo shoot align with your topics. Next, you're going to record a 60-second short form original audio video on TikTok. Let me say that again. A 60-second short and sweet, short form. You just want to deal with one topic. Original audio, you talking, video. And you want to create this on TikTok. And the reason you want to create it on TikTok is because you can sort of do that hormonesy style editing on TikTok and save your video without the watermark, which means it can then be used in other places, right? So that's the reason for doing it on TikTok. You want the video to follow the hook, value, call to action process. And I'm going to explain to you what those are in just a few moments. But essentially, this is what you want. A 60-second short form original audio video following the hook, value, call to action process. So what is the hook, value, and call to action? The hook is the thing that draws them in. It makes them stop the scroll and listen to what you're going to say. The value holds their attention once you've caught them and you've stopped the scroll, right? And then the call to action gives them something to do afterwards. It can be as easy as like and follow for more, right? You want to make sure you don't put music on it. Maybe you put music on it to post it on TikTok, but for this video, you want a clean video that you can use in other locations. So nix the music. You want to make sure you enable the captions, because captions enabled allow somebody to still consume that content, even if they can't turn on sound. You want a short caption. Words on the screen should actually speak to your audience and the algorithm, right? So, and you want to make sure that the caption on the screen is not saying the same thing that you're saying, because then you're wasting that precious, real estate on that video, and the algorithm can't pull those meta tags into something. And then you want to think about your hashtag game. You want 3 to 9 hashtags. 3 of them should relate to the content, 3 of your hashtags. 3 of them should relate to your audience pain points. So oily skin might be something that has to do with, I've got a class reunion coming up and oh my gosh, my skin, right? So I might use class reunion, best skin for class reunion as my hashtag, right? Or something along those lines. And then your other 3 can just be fun hashtags that can help push that information out to the algorithm. So let's dig a little deeper into this, because this is a lot of information. So here's what some of your hooks might look like. You might say blank, whatever this thing or this product or this process is, doesn't work for oily skin. Here's what does. You might say watch until the end. You might say, I need your help. You might say, guys, I've got a secret for you oily skin ladies, right? You might say 5 things your dermatologist doesn't tell you about your oily skin, right? You might say, no gatekeeping here. I'm going to give you the deets. You might say, this one is for our oily skin girls, right? Or you might say something like, hear me out. I know you have this skin. Here's what to do about it. You might say, you need to watch this if you're struggling with oily skin. And then your value can be something like how to. So maybe if this product doesn't work, but this one does, here's how to use it, right? You might do listables. Here's a list of products that really eliminate breakouts with oily skin girls. Here are some tips for you oily skin girls that work every single time. Here's a step-by-step skincare regimen that works to keep my skin clear 90% of the time. Here's some stats and figures on why this or that or the other, product or whatever it is works. You could share company info. You could share customer reviews. You could share tutorials about other things that relate to oily skin and taking care of oily skin. You could talk about events that perhaps you're hosting, things about you that are unrelated to your business. So talking about how I do a smoothie and that helps keep my skin clear. You could talk about hacks. You could talk about tools that you use. I love my Foreo, sonic facial cleanser brush, and it's amazing. And so I could talk about that. Things like that are going to help draw your person in or your audience member in so that they really want to pay attention. And then your calls to action could be like and follow for more. Grab yours here. Boom, here's the link. Message me below, right? Click the link in my bio. Here's how you join our Facebook group. Follow us on whatever. So really it's, what is the goal for that piece of content? What do you want people to do? How are you going to hook them in and what value are you sharing, right? So hook, value, CTA. Then once you've recorded your 60-second video, you're going to plug it into a platform called snaptic.app. You just go search it on Google and it pops up, and you can use it on any device. I've been able to use it on my iPad and on my desktop and on my phone. It's really super easy. And what that's going to do is it's going to download the video that you just created, sans the watermark. There will be no watermark on it. Now you've retained all the Hormozi style editing that you did inside the app, and you can use that video elsewhere, but there's no TikTok watermark or branding on the video, which means when you go to post it in other locations, a YouTube short or, your stories or wherever you decide you want to post it, it's not watermarked with TikTok, which means the other platform is going to readily receive it. So now we're going to talk about, we've got their 60-second video. We've done some homework on what our people want to know and have created our video with regard to that homework. We've created this really cool video that has some, content on the screen. So keeps people's, attention. We've got our hook, we've got our value, we've got our CTA. Now we're going to repurpose it. So what you're going to do is you're going to repurpose this to Instagram and Facebook Reels, both, right? You're going to repurpose it to your Facebook profile and Reels. You're going to upload it on YouTube Shorts. You're going to tweet it out. You're going to put it on LinkedIn videos, and you're going to create an idea pin on Pinterest out of it. So one piece of content you have now posted in 6 different locations, 7 if you count the original. 7 pieces of content out of 1 allows you to begin to become omnipresent, everywhere all at once. And pretty soon people are going to go, wait a minute, maybe I need to pay attention to what Marisa, the oily skin queen, is talking about here, right? Because you're everywhere. You're everywhere that they see you. And it takes somewhere between 8 and 20 times for people to see something before they really begin to pay attention. And you see this in marketing all the time when ads for newer movies come out months in advance to that movie actually becoming available in the theater. They're doing that to build up excitement. You're doing the same thing. So being omnipresent in this process is going to help you to do that. You're going to take the same video and you're going to pull the transcript. You can do that using Otter AI. Or when you upload it into YouTube, it should also, you have the option to pull that transcript. And then you're going to pull quotes out of that transcript. So perhaps if I'm doing a listable, there are several different quotes I can pull from that, because a list is 5 or more items, right? Or 3 or more items, right? And you can turn those into quotes. Or you can use an app called Chat GPT, and let me show you it. Where is mine? It is right here. I don't know if you can see that. Chat GPT allows you, see if you can see that. I don't know if you can. It allows you to create anything you want. So let's say I want to, let's write 5 quotes about oily skin. And then the robot is going to go to work and create 5 quotes about oily skin. that I can then turn around and share and link to this video to push people to the video. Does that make sense? So it is starting to type all of my quotes, as you can see. Do you see that? And so it's going to sit there and type out all of these quotes for me. And all I have to do is then take those quotes and put them on quote cards. Now, you can go into Canva and you can use Canva to design these quote cards, come up with a cool background image. Perhaps you do someone, you know, a cartoon like this one on the screen, and she's doing skincare, and you're literally putting these quotes on those cards. You can create story images inside Canva. You can create GIF files. You can even do animated scenes, right? So someone's exfoliating on the screen and your quote slides in, and then you have this little quote. The idea here is to take that content that you just created for all those sites and create even more out of it, right? And then you're going to create what's called the domino effect. So you can take this content that you've just created, post it on Instagram, post it on Facebook profiles, pages, and in your groups, post it on both Instagram and Facebook stories, send it out in an email newsletter, right? Make sure that you're attaching the link to the video so you're driving them back to actually seeing you in person. Again, you can tweet it out, you can post it on LinkedIn, and you can post it on Pinterest. And then other sites that you hang out that perhaps are not on this list, but definitely hit those primary ones, right? And this gives you the opportunity. Now you've taken one piece of content and you've turned it into 20 some odd pieces of, of content that you can now repurpose and post out there in the space. And again, become omnipresent. Using a scheduling tool like Recur Post or Hootsuite or Buffer or whatever your favorite scheduling platform is, using a scheduling platform will help you to really push this stuff out and schedule it out in such a way that it's going out in a timely fashion and you're staying top of mind for those people who are interested in what you have to say as the oily skin guru. Does that make sense? So there you go. That is the entire process wrapped up in a pretty little bow. If you have questions, comment them below and I will definitely jump on and answer. I will be providing another training on how to keep up with all this content that you're creating in about 2 weeks. I think I'll have that training up and running and ready to go. So let's get you in the groove and get you omnipresent. That's a wrap, guys. Thank you for your participation, and I will see you soon.